It's time for review of more Macross stuff with the VF-Himetal Laser Valkyrie. Now this is coming hot on the heels of the Fire Valkyrie. You may notice there's one difference between the two, is that this guy has landing gear. But that comes with a little bit of a catch to it. You see, since the mold doesn't actually have a place to plug in landing gear at the bottom, all they did was give you a stand which was the same display base as the Soul Spec Dragonar toys, and just 3 pieces of static landing gear for you to rest this thing on, and it really doesn't stay on that well. So I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Talk a little bit about the toy itself. It definitely feels like a pretty solid figure in fighter mode, definitely. There's not really any metal in it despite the name of Himetal. Most of the metal in it is just a little hinge right up here and some metal back here where the foot is jointed. Alright, and one other oversight, you can't actually fit the gun pod anywhere on the bottom. There's no holes for it, and it's just, you have to keep it separate. It does come with some display stand parts, like this part right here. You just kind of clip it underneath. And here you go, you got it on the stand. It's not the best connection anyway. So yeah, it's fighter mode is okay, you know. Really it needs proper landing gear, and really it needs a place to put the gun pod, because all that stuff was actually rectified in the VF-Himetal VF-1J. So this is kind of a disappointment in a small way. So let's just get on to the transformation into Gearwalk mode. And as we all know, Gearwalk mode for any VF-19 is usually the toy's worst mode. But what you do is just kind of separate these wing parts out of the way. And right here there's a tab that goes into the shin. Just kind of untab it, bring it out. This one came up. There it goes. Bring the arm around. Make sure you leave the shield attached. And you just kind of have to pull this back section up just a little bit. Get enough clearance for the wings. Fold down these. And one other thing you probably want to do is give this thing some proper hands. So right now what's put in here is like a little cover piece. You need a good thumbnail to get the cover piece out. There you go, you can stick in some fists. It has splayed hands and a gun pod holding hand as well. So, as you can see in Gearwalk mode, I mean, it's always been the worst mode for any VF-19. This includes the Yamato toys as well. But this guy seems kind of extra fiddly in Gearwalk mode, and I hate to use the term fiddly, but I don't know, it's just that there's something about the size and just the number of parts involved moving around that it just doesn't feel quite so solid. Although Gearwalk mode, it looks okay. You can't really pose it doing anything other than just standing around. And of course it also has its own stand pieces. You just kind of take this little thing and clip it back to these tabs which are used to secure the engines, and you just kind of stick them under there and then stick it back on the stand. Alright, so you probably want to go to the main attraction right now, which is the Bataroid mode. And now this is where some part swap starts happening. One thing you have to do is remove this cover part from up top here. Move the head into position. Now, one thing about this head is that these lasers don't actually move. The little head antenna, they don't move at all. So you should really be careful with that. They're kind of made of thin plastic, so you just want to bring this up here. And this part is very, very similar to the Himetal VF-19 toys. And in fact, I would almost say they kind of ripped them off. And it's not just because they're the same design. I mean, you also have to do the shortening, thickening part right there. And just kind of fiddle with these wings here. And try to bring this up as best as you can. And also you have to make sure that the head goes right into this little part here, little gap there. Yeah, you can see it's just the thing is fiddly. I mean, it's just not very well put together. You know, it's not really that fun to transform it. This part is always frustrating. And the head just flipped off. Let me go get that. So that's another really annoying thing about this toy is that, well, the head comes off very easily. Let's see if I can actually do this right. There it goes. Stick the head back on. And here we go, finally, after minutes of fiddling. Here is the Blazer Valkyrie in Bataroid mode. It's very posable, you know, it's got the same problem as the Himetal toy. This doesn't really lock down, although you can kind of get it to snap down. Also, there's a optional rear head laser thing. The other set, these actually do move on this one. It's hard to tell the difference, but this one just has the laser splay out a little bit more. And just kind of stick it on the back here. Okay, so as far as gimmicks go, this guy's pretty straightforward. You know, he's got the gun pod and a hand for holding the gun pod. posability is fairly good, you know. This guy can play his legs, he can kick pretty high. He'll probably get into a kneeling pose too. And one of the other gimmicks that they give you is this entire panel on the leg here comes off. And you can replace it. With a missile equipped part. And the same thing the other side, and so yeah, you have these little missiles here. They do actually move a little bit. You can see. Yeah, you know, this is a pretty... I have to be honest, I don't really like this toy. I honestly think that Yamato actually did better with their big deluxe Valkyrie toys, and this is just kind of a fiddly mess. It's not, you know, it's a good try, but it just has so much going against it. I mean, no place to put the gun pod. In fighter mode, no landing gear for fighter mode. You know, it's just smaller. It's not as cool looking. I mean, it's like, I like the Blazer Valkyrie a lot as a design, but this is just not a very good execution of it, and I'm kind of not really warming up to this toy at all. But oh well. Yeah, I suppose it's alright. But don't take my word for it. Might have to get one of these yourself just to see if you like it. Me, I think it's kind of too fiddly, and it's just too many compromises with the design. Anyway, this has been Andrew for CollectionDX, signing off with this review.